February 22nd is going to be National Angel Family Day. Very important. So many incredible family members and friends, parents and children. I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them. And I just think you're among the most brave people.
President Trump honoring angel families today, those whose loved ones were victims of crimes at the hands of illegal migrants. Our next guest was at the White House. His daughter, Katie Abraham, was killed in a hit-and-run crash by an illegal immigrant and was honored at a White House ceremony.
We will now light a candle in honor of the victims in solidarity with their families. Following the lighting of the candle, the names of the victims will be read aloud so that their memory may be honored.
Katie Abraham.
Joe Abraham, Katie's father, joins us now. Welcome to you, sir. And I just want to first ask, what did that mean today to have angel families like yours honored by the president at the White House?
So I'd have to say I had mixed feelings around this. I appreciate President Trump so much for acknowledging us, not trying to erase us, ignore us because we might be inconvenient for certain policies. And the other side of me felt so sorry for our country that this is what it's come down to, a very preventable outcome of policies of the prior administration. And I just wonder how someone like Mayorkas could sleep at night with so much blood on his hands, and why the DOJ is not looking into the corrupt and insidious practices he did in the prior administration. How sad is it for our country now we have to have a special day for children and parents and brothers and sisters who were killed at the hands of illegal immigrants who should have never been here, as they did not do it properly. As a family of immigrants, my father and mother came from a third world country. The proper way, there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. So I had mixed emotions on that.
Joe, we are so sorry for your loss, and we've been showing these beautiful pictures of your daughter on the screen for our viewers to see and to remember her, and we grieve the loss of her with you. And there was a moment at the White House ceremony where Katie's photo was shown during the White House ceremony. And it's so important that we tell her story and we remember what happened to her. And I know a big part of your mission now is to get her story out there and stop this from happening to anyone else in this country. I heard you mention the partisan side of this, and President Trump directly addressed that when he spoke at the ceremony. Listen.
I don't know why the news doesn't want to hear it. The Democrats don't want to hear it. The radical left, they don't want to hear it. What's not to hear? We want to stop murderers and criminals from coming into our country. What's these people saying? We want to protect murderers? I don't get it. Something sick. They're sick. Can't have a country like that.
What do you think when you hear the president say that?
He's absolutely right. I don't know how you can argue with this. Juxtapose him and Governor Pritzker in Illinois, who's completely erased Katie, did not acknowledge her life, did not acknowledge her death. Yes, she was killed by an illegal immigrant, but he was aided and abetted by Illinois sanctuary policies. Now, this was a predictable outcome of reckless, extreme, radical policies out of Illinois' Governor Pritzker and the Illinois General Assembly, the state legislatures. They are partly responsible for these deaths. Yet, unlike Donald Trump, they ignore us. They try to erase us. The media is behind them. I'm assuming they need J.B. Pritzker money. I don't know what it is, in all honesty. But sometimes I wonder, because I feel like Governor Pritzker is not really a deep thinker. Is there some other person or something outside of Illinois that makes him create these awful policies?
Joe, we cannot imagine what your family has been through, losing beautiful Katie. Again, her picture's up on the screen here, and we'll keep telling her story and the stories of all these angel families. We're with you. Thank you very much for joining us on that today.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.